Hey everyone, today we are going to install a light bar from Hansshow for the Cybertruck, and it's in this box. And by the way, this box is not too heavy. It's 52-inch light bar, I think. We'll see how it goes, but I like the design and I'll explain you later why I chose this particular light, and there is a good reason behind it. Anyway, so let's unbox this thing, and for that I have a knife.
That's a knife.
All right, that's interesting. Oh my lord, it's it's huge. Just take a look at this thing. Just take a look at that. It has some wires here, which we need to connect to our truck. I expected something a little bit squarish, but this looks freaking good. Oh my god. Okay, I'll put it aside. We have here something. Yeah, this is some hardware inside. Different screws, lug nuts, and Allen key for whatever reason. We will figure it out later. There is a thank you paper, QR code, and a couple of other QR codes. This wiggly thing, this and this parts are brackets. I guess we don't need this anymore. We have two brackets like this. They are marked with letters. So this is the right one and this is the left one. Okay, it's a nice looking light bar. I really dig the look. It looks a little bit less square than in other people reviews for some reason, because I thought it's going to be square shaped. It looks pretty good, and right now it's nighttime. I'm not going to install it in the complete darkness, so we'll wait until tomorrow. For you it's going to be a second or two. For me it's going to be another 8 hours of waiting. It's a beautiful day. Tomorrow is today.
First things first, we need to prepare these brackets to put them on the glass. To do that, we will need the hardware in this Ziploc bag. Let's see what we have in there. A couple of rubber legs, a couple of screws, an Allen key, and some heat shrink tubing. These screws have two lock nuts. We need to move one of those to the screw top and take the second one off. Now put the screw with the lock nut into the bracket so it's directed to the bottom, like so. Add the second lock nut and tighten it down, then add a silicone leg so you get this contraption. Repeat the same process for the second bracket and we are ready to move on.
This is the point where we're going to install this bracket too. It has a lid and it's designed to be open this way, so don't worry to break anything. It is designed this way, so open it up. And there are a couple of lug nuts down there. You need to remove them. Also, another thing to consider, if you don't have any riding boards. I'm 6'6", and for me it's really uncomfortable to work up here. It's plausible, I can do that for sure, but I don't know, I will come up with something. But just keep in mind that you will need some kind of a, if you are not 8.6 or something like that. Now it's time to put the bracket down, and it sits pretty well. You can adjust this piece here if you want to, but mine is sitting pretty flush on the windshield, so I would keep it like so. Now we need to put these lug nuts back, or whatever they are called, because they're basically looking like lug nuts, but might be they are called differently. I'm not going to tie them down at this point because I need this to be a little bit wiggly, so I need a little bit of travel here. So I'll keep it this way and I will start working with the right bracket right now, and then we will install the light bar and then we will tie it down. Well, at least it's a plan if nothing goes south. So now it's time for the right side, and the only difference here is that when we open it we will find there a power cable that we need to put aside while we're working, and the purpose of this thing is to connect the light bar to the truck. So yeah, let's do the thing, I guess.
And it's needless to say that the installation process for the second bracket is pretty much the same.
Okay, it's pretty good here. Okay, so now it's a time for the light bar itself. By the way, if you're wondering if it's heavy or not, I mean, no, it's not heavy for me. But if you drop it on your windshield, it will break it because it's made of metal, it's hard. So you need a few towels to make sure that you are safe of dropping this thing on your glass, I guess.
And the main idea here is just to drop your towels on top of your windshield and make sure that it's double layered so it will be a little bit thicker and will protect it from any damage.
Not too shabby. The main thing I think is to make them even so they are more or less level. And this way I can just put this light bar on top and start adjusting things. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. And this is why I didn't want to put it in place, because now we have a little bit of travel to put the screw into the light bar, and it should be relatively easy this way. Well, at least easier. And it goes in. Now we're going to the other side, and because we have still a little bit of travel here, we can easily put it inside. This is a way to do it, really. Okay, it holds. Ooh, it sits pretty snug in here. Shouldn't break my windshield. No, nice, lovely. Oh my god, it looks so sick. Now we need to connect the wires and make sure that the power is being delivered to the light bar to test it out. Something that I'm least confident about, but again, should be pretty easy. First thing, you need to remove the towels and give them back to my wife. It's important, I promised. But the most important thing is not to die, so you gotta check that you have all your electricity off for that particular power line. For that you can go to your options and to outlets and mods and make sure that your power feeds for front and roof, especially for the roof, are off. And if they are off, so they are grayed out, we are good to go. Second thing, we need to strip this wire because, well, it's not stripped, I mean, it's protected with the electrical tape, and we need to make sure that this is connected to this. This part is pretty easy. It's red and black. We have red and black as well, so we need to strip these ones. And people show they are cut this off, and I will probably do the same because they have some kind of goop on these wires, and I think it's pretty hard to ungoop that goop. Okay, awesome. Now it's time for these two guys. These things are pretty cool. So as you can see, here is a metal ring that will hold both wires together, and for that we need these pliers, and this is just a regular heat sleeve that you use some heat on, and it will kind of insulate the wires, and this is what we are going to do.
First thing, you put these wires into the heat tubing, then pinch them with your pliers. Then apply some heat through the heat gun so they will shrink, then electrical tape for a better insulation, and the final touch is a zip tie because we live in North America.
Okay, let's try it.
More moments later.
It's 10:30 p.m. right now. It's pretty dark. I just have a good camera, so it's not super dark on the screen, but take a look at that. It's super dark out here. Anyway, so I want to do a couple of tests. The first one is in my neighborhood. Just don't tell anyone because they shouldn't know. I'm going to test the light bar in my neighborhood and see how bright this thing is, just very quickly and very carefully. Then I will go somewhere else and I will check it out there because I want to see how it would behave somewhere when I'm outdoors, all that good stuff. And also I want to check if there is any kind of a wind noise because it's also important. So let's do those tests. So there is no light whatsoever right now. So regular light, high beams, and this is a light bar. Also, I noticed an interesting thing. If you have a certain angle of your light bar, the beam highlights all small particles on your windshield. So if it's somewhat dusty, you will see everything. So you need to kind of adjust the angle I don't know, I'll show you. So light beam on, and you can see it highlights all the particles on the windshield. And you definitely can see through the windshields. It's all about the angle of the light bar and how clean your windshield is. So keep in mind, if you find yourself somewhere in the middle of the night on a dusty road and the angle of your light bar is somewhat off, you will see a lot of dust somewhere around glass. So yeah. I'm driving right now at 70 kilometers an hour and I don't hear any wind noise, which is great. It's almost like it's not even there. 70 kilometers an hour, the road over there. I can't hear any noise. Nothing. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, we are here. I have a giant light bar in my hands as well. I'm using it for filming stuff, so I can at least see what is going on around. And yeah, nothing is going on around, so I need to grab my tripod. So this is a regular light and you can see it pretty well, I would say. This is a high beam and it's a little bit brighter. And this is a freaking light bar. Oh my God, this thing is super bright. Yeah, so it's incredibly dark out here. I can see anything. I have just a little touch of light on my face, so you can see me, but I can see nothing around. It's really a blackout. It's a little bit sketchy to be here because I know that there are some bears around and they are black and everything is dark, so black bears in the darkness. The worst thing that you can imagine, really. So I think I'm going home. If you like this video, like it. If you dislike it, it's up to you. I'm done.